So I was on Impact on a Thursday, and they're like, "We want to keep you for the pay-per-view on Destination X." Like, duh. And so they're like, "All right, you're going to be in a 4-way with all the other people that lost their qualifiers." So it was me, Scorpio Sky, Jigsaw, and Dakota Darsow, Repo Man's son. And whatever, we have this 4-way, and it was on pay-per-view. And so we're having this 4-way, whatever, and there was this big spot at the end to lead to me and Sky bringing it home, because we had told D'Lo was our agent, and we had told D'Lo, hey, we worked together a lot. We did this finish at Hollywood, and it was nasty. You got to let us do it. And he was like, tell me about it. So we walked him through it, and we like kind of half did it, like 80, like 75% did it. And he was like, that has to be the finish. And we were like, fuck yeah, we get to bring it home together, me and you. So we're going, match is going. It's not good. There's a couple things that went really right, and then like a couple of my parts went really wrong. Like I was supposed to I've done a cactus clothesline my whole career. And that was supposed to get me and Dakota to the floor to catch a dive, whatever. Hector Guerrero was also our agent, and he kind of stepped in, and he was like, no, don't do the clothesline, spear him through the middle. And I was like, I've never done that before. Like, I don't do a spear. Like, I don't even know what to do. And he's like, oh, it'll be fine. And then he was like, Dakota, are you okay with that? And he said, yeah. So I run to spear Dakota through the middle, because I did what I was told. And Dakota didn't even budge. Like, I literally went, here's him at the ropes. I went. And then we both just fucking roll out under the bottom, and the crowd's saying, you fucked up. Because it was one of those things where, like, you expect it to go that way, and it just didn't. And so I'm like, great. And I was like, we were on the ground, and I'm getting up, and he's not. And I was like, dude, get the fuck up. We have to catch a dive. And literally the second I look up, Jigsaw's in the air, and he barely gets up in time. And we caught him nice and safe, but I was like, oh my God. I was like, this sucks. Like, this is my pay-per-view debut. And like, I got dumped on my head on something like pretty early on. Whatever, we powder them out for the go home, and I'm picking up Sky for this hot sequence we're about to do, and Brian says, hey, grab a hold, you have 4 minutes left. Sky is selling, and I just looked at Brian, and I told him, I was like, I can't. And he went, and he just went, they're telling me to grab a hold. You got to grab a hold, kid. And I was like, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. And in hindsight, there was a million things I could have done to fill that time. And even as I started picking Sky up, I was like, oh, shit, I could have done this. But the difference was the two guys on the floor had no idea what was about to happen except the end of the match. So if I call this audible, I somehow need to get it to the two guys on the floor. And I was like, I can't. So we just brought it home hot, and I got fucking ripped. I got chewed in the back. Brian Hebner lit me up. And he wasn't wrong. He was doing his job, and I just told his job no. and I'm not mad about that decision. Like, of course I didn't want to get yelled at, my biggest opportunity ever. But at the same time, it would have hurt the match so bad to slow it down right there. It would have killed it. It really would have hurt the match if I would have grabbed a hold after all this exciting stuff. Two guys left in the ring. I go for my finisher. He reverses it, hits half of his, hits the rest of it. Like, it would have ruined the match. And so I'm still okay with that. I didn't like getting yelled at. I didn't like not getting booked again for over a year. But later, D'Lo came up to me. He's like, hey man, 4 minutes on pay-per-view is not a big deal. Don't sweat it. I know you got yelled at, but don't sweat it. You gave Aries and Rude 4 more minutes. You gave the main event more time. So good. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, but if this was Impact on Thursday, you know how hard it is to fill 4 minutes with replays? And I was just like, oh, I get it. I get why I got yelled at. In that moment, it didn't really matter. It didn't hurt the card. If anything, it helped the card. But had that been a couple days prior on Impact, and I left that much time. I was like, all right, I get it. But luckily, D'Lo was like super cool about it. You know, I could definitely see why Brian was not cool about it. You know, I'm some punk kid a couple years in the business telling him no in the middle of the review. And I'm watching it back, and you can't even see me really telling him no. But I remember just saying, no, I can't.
He took off the blonde wig and had the red mohawk underneath. No.